Let's go heating up.
Look, this is full.
This is the Bahrain National Museum. So this was the bell used in Bahrain airport in 1932 as a boarding call. Yeah. See.
A map is on the ground.
You see, the map of Bahrain is actually drawn on the ground. Unfortunately, the video can't really capture the old map.
Yeah.
Okay. This book speaks on suffering through the search for mystery and meaning and on the concept of Hajj in human history. It is an exploration of the Creator and His creation, the temple, the mountains, the bell, and the ascetic, of the route, the distance, and the path, and on leading the way slowly and steadily. It says, free thinkers don't follow the crowd. Pilgrimage is a journey from ignorance to enlightenment. Let's hold the flambeau and walk together.
What's it called?
Farid Ramadan 2021. Me and we bronze. Okay. Farid Al-Hajj. This is the flame of peace. On the occasion of the presentation of the Flame of Peace Award to Prince Khalifa bin Salman Al Khalifa, Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Bahrain. On the left side we have the Dilman, and on the right side we have the customs and traditions. The essence of Bahrain's heritage can be found in the lives of its people, in their customs, traditions, architecture, and clothes. The heritage has been passed down from generation to generation by daily experience, by the influence of Islam, or by folklore. From this point in the hall, we can follow the life history of a Bahraini. We start with birth and the celebrations that follow it. We continue through childhood and look at traditional games and at education as it used to be. We then come to marriage, which is considered the most important event in any Bahraini's life. After looking at different festive occasions, we conclude with an examination of clothes and houses found in Bahrain and how they relate to the environment. Now the birth. Before birth, the woman goes to her father's house where herbal draught and nourishing food have been prepared. After birth, the woman is given a ritual cup of water and 3 dried dates. The baby's umbilical cord is buried in the mosque if it is a boy, and in the kitchen if it is a girl. A rooster or a chicken is slaughtered. The treatment of the child after birth. After the baby has been rubbed with salt and herbs, gusel, it is wrapped in cotton cloth and placed in a cradle, manaz. Then the call to prayer is recited into its right ear, and the beginning of the prayer is recited into its left ear, according to the teachings of the Prophet. So that's the mother. Just gave birth. The symbol. Now, the first days after birth. On the day following the birth, the baby is usually given its name, often taking the grandfather's name if it is a boy, or the grandmother's if a girl. 7 days after the birth, the baby will have its first bath. And to celebrate this, a slaughtered goat or lamb is cooked and shared with the neighbors. The homecoming of the mother and baby. After a 40-day period, to allow the mother to recover, she returns to her husband's house with her baby, accompanied by her female relatives who carry the baby's possessions. The husband then often gives a present to his wife and the newly born baby to welcome them both home. Hood. Now the childhood. The purifying act of circumcision, tahara. According to Islamic tradition, boys are circumcised between the ages of 3 and 6. Wow. It is carried out by a specialist, Mkhatin. The best times for circumcision are thought to be the cool days of spring, and the favorite days are Monday, Thursday, and Friday, or religious occasions like the Prophet's birthday. Ceremonies for the young child. For the first 4 months, boys and girls are still frequently wrapped in cotton cloth to strengthen their muscles. The first milestone in the development of the child is his first haircut. It is celebrated by weighing the cut hair on a small scale against coins, which are then distributed to children. The child's first tooth and his first steps are traditionally celebrated by throwing nanun, as shown on the podium to the left. Okay. Now, losing the milk teeth. An old tradition is that whenever a child loses any of his milk teeth, he holds it in his first fist with 7 date stones, and pointing at the sun, he shouts, "Take this donkey's tooth and give me a gazelle tooth." He then throws the tooth and the stones at the sun. Treatment and healing. After circumcision, the boy is immediately treated with balsam, dressed in a light gown, and taken to rest in a room with his mother, accompanied by the joyful sounds of the women and children. Then he is given a few coins and henna is put on his hands. Herbal medicine is applied daily, and on the 3rd day, he is taken to the sea to cleanse the wound. This is the popular tradition of nanun. Nanun is given on all happy occasions. A basket full of sweet nuts and coins is thrown over the head of the child or other person being feted. It is picked up by children afterwards.
Yes, that's the tradition here. We show children. This woman is pouring the basket. That's the mother and the baby.
Children's games. Children's games are divided into 3 types. Those played by boys only, those played by girls only, and those played by both together. The games often reflect the different characteristics of the sexes. Boys' games are more extrovert and competitive and often take place away from home, such as small boat racing and hide and seek. See agar. Girls' names take place in the house or close to it and often imitate the activities of their mothers. Apart from playing with dolls, and girls' games are often play songs, hopscotch, etc. where only a few objects are used. Okay, the first government schools. Modern education started in 1919 with the establishment of a voluntary educational committee and the opening of Al-Hidayah Al-Khalifa Boys School in Muharraq. By 1928, there were 7 state schools, including 1 girls' school and approximately 620 pupils. The teaching in the state schools. Classes were held every day except Friday, with 4 lessons in the morning and 2 in the afternoon. The pupils studied Arabic language, Islam, history, geography, science, and arithmetic. Examinations were done orally. The school course lasted for 7 years and a certificate was given on completion. The school and the teacher. Children attended Quranic schools from the ages of 5 or 6. The mixed sex classes were held every day except Friday in the home of the teacher, Mutawa. The amount of time spent at school varied with the child's talent. The teacher collected his fees 2 to 4 paisa every Thursday. Truancy was severely punished. And the method of instruction. Students started with short chapter surahs of the Holy Quran to practice the pronunciation of vowels, and then proceeded to longer surahs through which grammar was taught. The teaching was completed when all the Holy Quran had been learnt. The wedding. Finding a marriage partner. Traditionally, marriage occurred between cousins. If there were no suitable partners within the family, a female matchmaker, Kataba, was used to find a proper wife. This involved intensive investigations of both parties' backgrounds. When the choice had been made, the Kataba arranged an introduction between the female members of both families, but no decision was made until the father had been consulted. If the man was acceptable, the male members of his family settled the wedding date, the dowry payment, and the gift of clothes. The gift of clothes. On the appointed day, the groom's mother went with female relatives and neighbors to the bride's house to present her with the daze. They went in a procession with 2 women in front, each carried a bundle on her head containing dresses and fabrics and some cosmetics. The groom's mother carried a small bundle containing the dowry money. So this is the wedding. The wedding night. On the wedding night, the groom and his male relatives received the guests in his house. Later, the groom went in procession to the bride's house. There he waited in the wedding room for his bride, who arrived on a carpet borne by 4 women. The marriage was then consummated to the intensified singing of the Ida.